Okay, here we go. Take one. So I am sitting here today with Matt August, the owner of August Luxury Motorsports, August Mazda, and the founder of the Okanagan Dream Rally and the August Family Foundation we'll talk a bit about. So I wanted to meet with Matt today, and I wanted to ask Matt to tell me more about what he does. We got together years ago. Matt's one of my closest friends because very aligned in what he does and so unique, both being in the car business and all the philanthropic work done. So tell me more. Tell me where it started. You got to tell me first. I mean, I loved talking to your folks. So Brian and Irene are amazing, and talking to your dad about he's been in this for a while. You guys got in the car business a little while ago for sure.
Yeah, 1945, and my grandfather, and then we were Ford, Lincoln, Datsun, and then Mazda for the past 39 years, I think, this year. So, and then this is new since 2015. We're out there, we like to have fun, and, as you know, events, and I think being able to use the cars too to do good things in the world too. And I think that the opportunity you get when you pull up to a gas station and you get the guy beside you, right, and it's like, his kid's all over it. And they're like, oh, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture? Of course. Why don't you get in it, start it? And it's just like makes someone's day. I mean, you can, take a car out for an afternoon and put, a kid that's gone through an illness or whatever, right? And you've done it lots too. And you put them in the passenger seat of the car and take them for just a quick little burn down the street. I mean, it does wonders to them. So
It is. I witnessed that at the Dream Rally. It was amazing watching these kids that light up their days. How many kids will tell us it's the best day of their life? So there'll be kids anywhere from 7 to 15. And the drivers, a lot of drivers say the same. Yeah. And I look at all the stuff your family does. So August Luxury Motorsports does as much for charity and the community as it does. It's as important, probably more so I get the impression, than selling cars, which is so unlike the typical experience people get. So car dealers in years past would get a really shitty rep about stuff.
Well, because they go off of today, they want today's profits, right?
Yeah.
You don't get tomorrow's, they don't get the tomorrow thing.
Yeah.
And that,
the bigger picture. And that's what you see here, and that's what I like. That's why I always enjoyed with what I did years past, back to the children's wing when I did that in Prince George, and they always say it comes back to you, right, doing these good things. It was amazing to see that just kept growing and growing, and I see it here already in only 4. It's hard to believe it's only been 4 years here. It's how much this place has grown. When you look around, like I say, it's the biggest exotic car place I've seen yet in the country. So, or for that matter, anyone who travels around the world so far, this is the craziest collection, and you built that in 4 years in Kelowna. And along the way, and you haven't mentioned it yet, is all the stuff you've done for Mamas locally, as well as Ronald McDonald House, as well as hospice. There's all these functions, and I thank you very much for that, because quite often I get the call, you invite me to go join in, and it's amazing. There's nothing better than to see these people's faces light up, whether it's Mamas or the Ronald McDonald House stuff, any one of them, and that makes my day.
for sure.
That's
yeah.
And then I see you, and then
It's
you're
all,
on your way.
it's all small stuff, and it's all like, you get 200 drivers together to go do Dream Rally. You don't understand what just a little bit every time, or a bunch of people together as an army going to raise money is way greater than just a few people.
Oh.
You try to grow that into bringing a bunch of people into the team, I guess, or into the cause. I mean, it's pretty neat what you can accomplish that way.
Well, and even recently, so it's not just that. So your Dream Rally is going to be close to $1 million this year, raised for local charities. Over $1 million. That's right. You're going to go over $1 million this year, and the people that support it are unreal. So you can't thank them enough ever. And then I look at we were here the other night. You hold these functions in this beautiful building, and we're at a painting of it where money to charity. And there's always some charitable aspect every month, and I think that's I just can't believe how aligned or similar. Back in the day in Prince George, my mantra with the crew there was always, we have to do something each month for a local charity and carried that on to whatever other businesses or Remax and the rest of it. And it's amazing how easy it is, but you can start to have an amazing impact on, like, look at Mamas for Mamas this year. What we've done there for that charity, just a couple of us have had a massive impact on them. I mean, there's more than a couple, there's X amount of people, but they can't get over how few people deciding to help has had this massive impact on them. So it's, and then you get 200 people together. What was it, the night, so everyone knows, they had a crazy function, a beautiful function the night before the Dream Rally, where everyone gets to bring these kids and the families come down. That's take over downtown Kelowna, which is crazy. I have to thank Bassaran and people for allowing that to happen. That's cool. And you had administrative fence and jets flying over. But the craziest thing was the night before, when, how many people were there roughly? The night at the event? The night before,
maybe 200?
Maybe 200 people. Very, very close philanthropic people all got together, had a lot of fun. Beautiful event.
$240,000 and just like
in about an hour, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's the stuff a person never gets enough public recognition for, is what your family did there, what I saw happen there, and then that is the type of thing that you just don't see. That I would love to see. I've never, other than being there that night, maybe a couple of clips, but I don't think people realize you got a group of people together at your families, at your parents' home on the lake, and 200 people put up $250,000 to help sick kids in this case. Like, that is where do you see that? So that's what I love.
It is pretty crazy.
It is very special, but it takes people to drive it, and that's what you've been, and your family's been the drivers behind making it happen, and then people want to follow, people want to be part of it, and that's...
I think people follow things that are, that are benefiting the city they live in too. And it was our biggest thing with Ronald McDonald House, was that when I first brought it up to people that we were going to raise money for Ronald McDonald House, they're like, well, why would you raise money in Kelowna for a charity that's in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Well, you're exactly why. Because that's what everybody thinks, that's for kids in Vancouver. Well, no, that's not true. Those kids in Vancouver go home.
Yeah.
They're lucky enough to go home. The kids that are in RMH are kids from the interior and from all over the Okanagan, Chilliwack, and anywhere in between. And there's a family this year that was there for over a year, over 360 days, like a Kelowna family. So
I'm watching this TV in the background, so people know it's funny, but that's a clip people should always watch, or you should have definitely on YouTube, is the one in the winter. Every Christmas.
Cars and Toys.
Cars and Toys. So Cars and Toys again this year, and then Matt and I were lucky enough to go down, take all these toys, and then more later. So a huge function here, raised money, gifts, take it down to Ronald McDonald House. More gifts than I could even use.
Yeah, we had to ship them down.
We had to ship
4 pallets went to...
Which is
4 gigantic pallets of toys went down.
And then, so there's for people who wouldn't know, Ronald McDonald House, for the families that are stuck there, including the kids that aren't sick but are there because the sibling is. The kids get to go in, and the parents get to go in and shop in this room.
The North Pole.
The toys that we've provided, they get to go in there and pick out these crazy toys for their kids. The kids have the best Christmas down there. And then all those trees, we decorated trees with Tempest Aviation actually did one, and you guys, we did the other one, and it was amazing. The trees were covered in toys, and the kids were so stoked.
That was cool.
Right? So I was with Gary V here in Vegas last weekend, and he mentioned he's got a pile of money and all these companies, but he dedicated 2% at one point in his life from every company. 2% of the net profit goes to charity as part of his business plan. And if you could get every company doing something like that, like what you're doing, you're going above and beyond. If you were just doing one function, but if every company, every business owner would at least pick one charity to support, the weight that would take off all these charities and what people are trying to do would be amazing, right? And have a difference. And that is one thing I do like about the new generation. The latest generation seems more about giving back than, say, the older generation, I would say, particularly these days of shareholders and bullshit where it's all about the profit. And that drives me fucking crazy, these companies that push for net profit to pay out to shareholders to go to whatever. I think every company should take us through, at least all of mine do. And using Remax, funny, in 4 or 5 years we picked, but it was alone in 1 year we were able to help 30 charities. By just saying we're going to do something, every other week. So it was, yeah. So, and the other one that I would say is huge to bring up is that your charity event, your Dream Rally, every year, there's lots of rallies. There's others we've met and talked about, but I think it's important at these rallies you look at the actual money donated, or at the end of there should be a goal, and there should be these presentations so people can see it, that transparency. And this year I'd like to see us take Dream Rally, or in future to the next level, which we've started to do, is having the cars, so the people already are raising we pay to get a car in, I'll put X amount of cars in, right, this year, whatever, be 8 cars, is that let people drive the cars, and they donate money not only to Dream Rally, but then the charity that the car is deckled up for. So you're having impact on how many different charities this one function, which it has every year as well. But if going forward we can get business owners that might say, okay, you're already doing $500,000 to Ronald McDonald House, and money here and money there, and if they really like a particular charity, they can say, okay, I'll give $5,000 to drive a supercar, and all the money goes to that charity. So that's what I've thrown out there is to these guys, where I'm peer pressure, I'm saying drive the McLaren, and $2,500, $5,000, drive the Diablo, drive whatever car. Probably not the Testarossa, you said. I mean, I should. Maybe we'll bring it out for that, but you can imagine the impact you would make there. 200, 250 cars.
It gets pretty hard after you military and
Minister of Defense, and these guys are here.
F-18 Hornets.
Yeah.
What do you do other than get 2?
Yeah, that's
and then 3 and then 4, and then by the time the whole 409 squadron's here.
That's what I was laughing. We were kind of talking about that. Is at what point one jet was amazing. The military doing that was crazy. But yeah, what do you get 3 jets? Is it really that much more impactful? Like you say, I think you had a better.
I think seeing that jet come over downtown doesn't get old.
Yeah. That's
still,
true.
even thinking about it still gives you goosebumps.
Yeah. And this year, what's the latest? You're talking about there might be.
Well, another jet, and then we'll have a few surprises. But the military is really on board with what we're doing, and it's neat to show kids that you can ride in the passenger seat of these cars, and you can go be a pilot in that if you want.
Yeah.
It's just kind of whatever you want to put your mind to, just do it. And
that military show, that jet, for anyone that didn't know, that didn't make it down and see it, because there was 200 drivers, plus all the children, plus families, but having that Hornet, that F-18 or whatever it is, that F-18 right there on the tarmac for the kids to see, plus all the military equipment, the guys that were there, that was amazing for the kids. So how do you top off a day driving in a Lamborghini, McLaren, whatever, Porsche, Ferrari? They get to ride in these cars, and they get down there where lunch and everything goes on. The helicopter rides. We forgot about the guys from George from OKM as an example, right? Yeah. Taking these kids out. Good friend of ours and a big supporter is literally taking kids out one after another that had never been. So on that same day, those kids got to see the jet and ride in a couple of supercars and ride in the
see the race cars. And
yeah, it makes hair stand up on my arms actually about what it does for these kids that are at a very, very hardest time in their life, actually. I think of that, not knowing.
But it does a lot to drivers too. Like you hear that more than anything, what it does for the driver that day. They donate their money to come and drive their car or sponsor or what, and they don't get to see the impact they're making on their donation. Usually when you write a check for something, you don't see it. This is this kid beside you. Just smile ear to ear, and you guys are just enjoying your drive down and chatting and getting to know your co-pilot, and it's just as impactful on the driver because it's just something you don't see and you don't feel ever really.
Well, having an impact on my life, some of those families is crazy. Is they've been in touch, they've come to visit now. You follow along with how they're doing with their treatment and everything else, and you get to know that whole family. And that day, like you say, is one of the most impactful days I've ever had. And that's what typically everyone says. It's far different than writing a check or giving a check to someone, and to come spend a day and make a kid's, to make his day, best day of the year, best day of his life. How do you put a dollar figure on it, right? While having a beautiful day driving supercars. So, perfect. Cool.